Well, I hope everyone had a good last couple days, a Merry Christmas with family and friends and loved ones. And I do hope everyone enjoyed it. It's always this time of year I don't know, sit back and reflect on things that have happened, past Christmases, things that have happened over the year. So I was thinking about gifts, and I thought, probably the best gift I ever got was I was 12 years old, and my grandparents gave me a book. Um, I would say a book of instruction would be the best way to describe it. Um, some call it a Biblica or a Bible. Some call it a Holy Bible. Bible means book. Holy means good. Good book. If you get positive instructions out of a book, then I would call it a good book. So anyway, this book they gave to me for Christmas in 1972 from my pa and Grandma Louder. My grandma said, "Don't let that book look new." She said that book needs to be wore out. I didn't really understand what she meant, and for many years, well, not many, for a few years, till I got up into my teenage years, it remained pretty much a good-looking book. Binder's busted on it now, and it's got all kinds of notes and stuff in it. But I was reading through some stuff, and while there was a song on the radio, and it was called "The Words Written in Red," and it was talking about the things that Jesus said. So I got to thinking about it, and I thought, I've got some words underlined and highlighted and stuff in my book of instruction, and I thought, I wonder what it would be like if I read them all together. So this is out of a paraphrase Bible. If you've never read the Bible or you've tried and you had trouble, a paraphrased Bible will help to start understanding some of the stuff that's there. A a regular Old English Bible, um, it can be a big help too. But you have to start somewhere, and in order to start and be interested, you have to be able to understand. So in Proverbs, King Solomon wrote, I guess you would call it a letter to his son David. But this information came from a higher source than a king. What would be the higher source of a king than on this earth? From God. God gave this wisdom to Solomon. And if you are familiar with it and think back, Solomon prayed. He didn't pray for riches. He didn't pray for gold, all the material things of the earth. He prayed for wisdom and knowledge, and he was given all those things because that's all he wanted was wisdom and knowledge. So he wrote this for David, and as I read just the things highlighted, it kind of seemed like the words written in red, and I thought, Solomon wanted his son to hear that, and I thought, for Christmas, I would like my sons to hear what I have highlighted and put together over the course of about 47 years. Um, but it's also for anybody. I think in this day that we're in right now and all the things that are going on, if God could give a message to all his sons and daughters on this earth, and he can anytime he wants, but this is a message that's been here for a long time. You just got to read it. It's like anything. If you want to find out the truth, you have to go look for yourself. You can't depend on what anybody else says. You have to make that journey for yourself. You have to make that decision for yourself. So, to my sons and daughters, and hopefully to the people in the world that maybe think the Bible's just a crock. I talk with a lot of people on Facebook, different sites, and I get attacked. I don't say anything about it unless somebody brings it up. But just because I'm a Trump supporter, they'll start in on Christians, and they don't know how I could support the president. And we'll get into that in another video. But if you would, Merry Christmas to my sons and daughters. I hope you take this advice and pass it on to your kids, and they pass it to theirs and many generations on. But Solomon started out and he said that these things were wrote in order to teach people how to act in every circumstance, for he wanted them to be of understanding and be just and fair in everything that they did. I want to make the simple minded wise, he said. I want to warn young men about some problems they will face. I want those already wise to become the wiser and become leaders by exploring the depths and meanings of these nuggets of truth. Only fools refuse to be taught. Come here and listen to me, and I'll pour out my spirit of wisdom upon you and make you wise. I have called you so, but still you won't come. I have pleaded, all in vain, for you have spurned my counsel and reproof. You have spurned my counsel and reproof. Sorry. Someday you'll be in trouble, and I'll laugh. Mock me, will you? I'll mock you. When a storm of terror surrounds you, and when you are engulfed by anguish and distress, then I will not answer your cry for help. Sorry, I was going to get me a little light here. I will not answer your cry for help. It will be too late, although you search for me anxiously. For you closed your eyes to the facts and did not choose to reverence and trust the Lord, and you turned your back on me, spurning my advice. That is why you must eat the bitter fruit of having your own way and experiencing the full terrors of the pathway that you have chosen. For you turned away from me to death, from your own for your own complacency will kill you. But all who listen to me shall live in peace and safety, unafraid. Every young man who listens to me and obeys my instructions will be given wisdom and good sense. Yes, if you want better insight and discernment and are searching for them as you would for lost money or a hidden treasure, then wisdom will be given to you and knowledge of God Himself, and you will soon learn the importance of reverence for the Lord and trusting of Him. For the Lord grants wisdom. Wisdom is the treasure of knowledge and understanding. He grants good sense to the godly, His saints. He is their shield and protects them and guards them along their pathway. He shows how to distinguish right from wrong, how to find the right decision every time. For wisdom and truth will enter the very center of your being, filling your life with joy. You will be given the sense to stay away from evil men who want you to be their partners in crime. Men who turn from God's ways to walk down dark and evil paths and exalt in doing wrong, for they thoroughly enjoy their sins. Everything they do is crooked and wrong. Sounds like some things going on today, doesn't it? Only wisdom from the Lord can save a man from the flattery of prostitutes. These girls have abandoned their husbands and flouted the laws of God. Their homes lie along the road of death and hell. These men who enter them are doomed. None of these men will ever be the same again. Follow the steps of the godly instead and stay on the right path, for only men who enjoy life to the full For only good men enjoy life to the full, and evil lose the good things they might have had, and they themselves shall be destroyed. Through Hollywood movies, all the media that's slammed in our faces, I took the TV out of my house over 10 years ago because my 3-year-old asked me what a bastard was. I asked him where he heard that word, and he heard it on TV. My TV come out of the house that day. If I invite evil into my home, then I invited it, but it's not going to come into my home on its own. So we haven't had one. I don't think anybody misses it. My kids read a lot; they're good readers, and it's been a benefit to them instead of having all that trash stuck in their head. A man who knows right from wrong and has good judgment and common sense is happier than the man who is immensely rich. For such wisdom is far more valuable than precious jewels. Nothing else compares with it. Wisdom gives a long, good life, riches, honor, pleasure, and peace. Wisdom is a tree of life to those who eat her fruit. Happy is the man who keeps on eating it. Have 2 goals. That is wisdom, which is knowing and doing right, and common sense. It seems today in the world we're missing a lot of wisdom and common sense. They say don't judge a book by its cover, so I won't point anyone out. But common sense, you're born with it. You just got to use it. Don't let those 2 things slip away from you, for they fill you with a living energy and are a feather in your cap. They keep you safe from defeat and disaster and from stumbling off the trail. With them on guard, you can sleep without fear. You need not be afraid of disaster or the plots of wicked men, for the Lord is with you and He protects you. Determination to be wise is the first step towards becoming wise. And with your wisdom, develop common sense and good judgment. If you exalt wisdom, she will exalt you. Hold her fast, and she will lead you to great honor. She will place a beautiful crown upon your head. My son, My daughters, listen and do as I say, and you will have a long, good life. And I need some more light here because you get older, your eyes will start to dim just a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Keep these thoughts ever in your mind. Let them penetrate deep within your heart, for they will mean real life for you and radiant health. Let me describe for you a worthless and wicked man. First, he or she is a constant liar. He signals his true intentions to his friends with eyes, feet, and fingers. Those of you that are awake, think about that for a minute. Eyes, feet, and fingers. And he projects his evil. Next, his heart is full of rebellion, and he spends his time thinking of all the evil he can do and stirring up discontent. Well, we got people like that today, don't we? But he will be destroyed suddenly, broken beyond hope of healing. For there are 6 things that God hates, no 7. Haughtiness, lying, murdering, plotting evil, eagerness to do wrong, and false witness, and sowing discord among brothers. Can't you hear the voice of wisdom? Everything I say is right and true, for I hate lies and every kind of deception. My advice is wholesome and good. There's nothing evil in it. My words are plain and clear to anyone with half a mind. It is only open. My instruction is far more valuable than silver or gold. For the reverence and fear of God are basic to all wisdom. Knowing God results in every kind of understanding. A beautiful woman lacking discretion and modesty is like a fine gold ring in a pig's snout. Godly men are growing a tree that bears life, giving fruit, and all who win souls are wise. Even the godly shall be rewarded here on earth. How much more the wicked? It is better to get your hands dirty and eat than to be too proud to work and to starve. We got some of them too. Some people like to make cutting remarks, but the words of the wise soothe and heal. Truth stands the test of time, and lies are soon exposed. A lazy man won't even dress the game he gets while hunting, but the diligent man makes good use of everything that he finds. A good man wins his case by careful argument, and the evil-minded only wants to fight. Self-control means controlling the tongue. A quick retort can ruin everything. Rich people are poor, and some poor people have great wealth. Being kidnapped and held for ransom never worries a poor man. If you refuse to discipline your son, sorry girls, or daughter, it proves you don't love them. But if you love them, you will be prompt to punish them. The good man eats to live, while the evil man lives to eat. Evil men shall bow before the godly. Even his own neighbors despise the poor man, while the rich have many friends. To despise the poor is sin. Blessed are those who pity them. A soft answer turns away wrath, but harsh words cause quarrels. Gentle words cause life and health. Griping brings discouragement. When a man is trying to please God, God makes even his worst enemies to be at peace with him. Idle hands are the devil's workshop. Idle lips are his mouthpiece. It is better to be slow-tempered than famous. It is better to have self-control than the control of an army. A dry crust